What's up? Once again, yours truly, Michael Ferrera, back for another edition of Style Your Life. And in this segment, we're going to be showing you how to wear a tie in a post-pandemic. Let's get into that content right now. So without further ado, and as usual, if you like, subscribe, all the above, I would truly appreciate it. But more importantly, should you wear a tie or not, and how to wear a tie post-pandemic? Well, the most important thing to remember here is that it is a very tricky and awkward water to navigate through this tie tying thing during a pandemic. And I will say that the tie will always be what it is. It's a gentleman accessory that has been like a statement piece along with shoes and socks and watches and all the other stuff. But some of these things have come really like absolute and somewhat useless. And in my opinion, one thing to do when you're thinking about should you wear a tie during a pandemic, the number one thing that you should do is just not, right? A lot of companies and industries have changed, even from the commercial banker, the real estate investor, the financial advisor, all of those things. A lot of those things have drastically changed. So I would say, go ahead and ditch the tie. How do you pull it off? There's a couple of ways to pull it off. One, the new swanky and cool ways to do it is no tie, all the way buttoned up, and then just rocking a full suit, 3-piece suit or 2-piece suit accordingly, whatever your preference is. But I would lean to avoiding the tie. Now, the second way to do it is that you want to just soften it up even more by unbuttoning. And you can do so by just loosening your top button. And one thing I'll remember is keep in mind, once you're wearing it, if you're wearing a shirt underneath your shirt, as I do, it is important to remember that you should not have the undershirt show under here, so you can keep a very crisp and clean, organized look as you prepare for your meetings, your luncheons, your events, your networking, etc. But the t-shirt should not show underneath. It's a very, what was the right comfortable word to say? It's not cool. Let's just say it that way. It's just not cool to have the shirt show underneath. It looks like you just rushed and you were putting this together and just whatever. As a gentleman, I always encourage you to still take high level as it relates to your style and your image and your presence when you're in a business world, post-pandemic, or whatever environment that we're in. So keep that in mind. Ditch the tie and actually unbutton the shirt. The third way that you can go about doing this is here, right? The pocket square. This is cool. This allows you to show, again, some character, some style, without having to have the traditional tie and button up, polished, etc. look. So I would say, go for pocket squares. You can even use multiple different colors. They don't have to match your suit perfectly. This one happens too. You can ditch that one. I think another way to do it is to contrast your pocket square with your shirt, complementing that, and use your pocket square as somewhat of your tie, your accent, your conversation piece. And it's a great way to continue to show that you took time, that you enhanced it, that you put it in place, and that you're still professional, you're still in it, and you're still rolling, and you still look good while you were doing everything that you're doing inside of your business attire. Of course, switching it up to anything else that you want, but just keep that in mind. You can absolutely do no tie at all in a post-pandemic world. And again, another way to soften this up, and I would think that can even depend on your industry a little bit, is you can actually ditch the jacket, right? You can take off the jacket. You can just go with the vest. I think that's the advantage of wearing or owning 3-piece suits. You can just go with the vest, still cool, chic look. Your vest still should stay, or your collar should stay tucked in. And again, your shirt not showing, so that you can keep a clean, crisp, polished image as you're progressing through your meetings in your environment. Now, the fourth and final way, if you can do it, if you have the confidence to do it, I encourage you to try it and use it to your advantage. I do this all the time. It's very rare that I'm wearing traditional shoes anymore, and part of the reason is because of comfort, right? I just don't really like wearing dress shoes, walking in and out of cars and meetings and in whatever else I'm doing. I probably will wear a pair of sneakers. It's normal on the East Coast in New York, etc. I live in LA. So like wearing dress shoes is actually probably not even existent. Most of the guys wear sneakers anyway. But anyway, so I say that to say, I'm actually ditching the actual dress shoes a lot. So the fourth way I should say, that you can pull this off is by ditching the dress shoes completely. I think that you have the opportunity to wear, sneakers accordingly. But the most important thing is that your sneakers need to be clean. I do recommend white or some form of color. And the reason being, it shows that you were intentional about it. It shows that you were intentional about, hey, I wanted to wear sneakers. I wanted to wear this look. But as you notice, again, very clean, very chic, shirt not showing here, collars up tight. Even if you do want to add a jacket, you can still add the jacket and wear the sneakers with the pocket square, and it gives you a cool, like chic, fancy, casual look in a post-pandemic. So I recommend to try these ideas on how to wear a tie during a post-pandemic. Lastly and finally, if and when you should wear a tie. Yes, you should make the tie like a special occasion attire. So if you're going to a gala, a dinner, a ball, a very formal meeting, yes, you should traditionally wear the tie and use it accordingly. Grab the tie of your preference, tie it, and use it with your suit, your shirt, your vest, whatever it is that you're doing. But I would say in a post-pandemic world, use the tie as a special occasion accessory, because the world has just changed. And that's okay. You should be very intentional about being transparent in your style, being clear in your style, and still showing that you still have style, regardless if it's a pandemic or not. So use your tie for special occasions, use them accordingly. Now, what do you do with all the ties that you've collected over these years? Well, keep collecting them. There will be a day when we get back to something more traditional, and we might be more in a formal environment or a traditional environment, and those ties will come in handy, and you can now still show off your class, your style, and your charisma as you incorporate your ties back in your wardrobe. So, in short, save the ties for special occasions and ditch the tie for regular traditional reasons. Occasionally think about adding the sneakers. More importantly, your shoes do not have to be expensive. They do not have to be lavish. They just have to be clean. If you haven't seen my other video, click somewhere on this screen to find out and see that video on how to wear sneakers with a suit. It's probably one of my most popular and most watched videos on this channel. So as usual, remember, style your life. And remember, you can have every single thing in life that you want as long as you truly believe it. We'll see you soon.